Good evening, everybody. We are live. Welcome to Welcome Home with Dole Whip Dad. Having a little audio issue to start. I apologize for that. I hope the audio is cleaned up. A little bit of a late start, like I just said, but I'm super glad to be here, and I'm super glad you are here. Blooming Cheese, and I see you in the house already. Welcome in. We're going to talk a little Welcome Home DVC talk. I do have a special guest coming on here in a little bit, and I'm really excited to talk to all of you about what's going on here in the world of DVC with Welcome Home, the DVC show. So if you're here, I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you to spend a little time with us. The big news, I've got big news personally. We got some big news for anybody who wants to go to DVC for Christmas. And personally, my Dodgers are playing right now against the Padres. I'm a huge sports nut, and I'm excited about that. And I've got some news on that. But let's get straight to the DVC news before we talk about anything in my world. And this was all over the place yesterday, and I've seen it at a few places. I'm going to read from allears.net. It's not where I first saw it, but I like them. I mean, I don't dislike the other people I saw, but I like them a lot, and I'm just going to read it from you. If you're looking for something to do for the holidays, here's your chance. Again, I'm reading straight from allears.net, but it's everywhere. And it was all over the place yesterday. Disney Vacation Club members can get a big discount on rooms at this Disney World Resort hotel. If you're thinking about planning a trip to Disney World soon, one thing you've got to think about is where you'd like to stay. If you're looking for a good discount and you're a Disney Vacation Club member, or you've got a friend who is, you now have an opportunity to get a big discount. 40% off, people. The Disney Vacation Club website notes that for select nights, Disney Vacation Club members can save up to 40%. 40%. Hey, Lori Jean. Hey, Kadani Sean. Welcome in, guys. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Elena, what's going on? Happy to see you. Happy Tuesday. I almost said happy Friday. That was weird. Anyway, 40% off at Disney's Saratoga Springs. So if you're getting to know me, or if you've known me for a while, you know that the first place, regardless, the first place I ever stayed on DVC as a DVC member was at Saratoga. I love Saratoga. Hey, Switch Willie in the house, or Swish Willie in the house. I don't know why I say Switch. Swish Willie in the house. Welcome in. I'm glad to see you here. So DVC, the first time I was a DVC member, we became members at the Poly. The first time we got to go anywhere, we spent, 5 days at Saratoga Springs. It was our jam. I've got two daughters that came with us, me and my wife and two daughters. Those two daughters are both very into Disney and horses. You put Disney and horses together, you get Saratoga Springs. Very well appointed. We love the theming there. It's not over the top. It's not Mickey Mouse everywhere, but it's very Disney. I loved it. It was quiet. They say it's the quietest of the DVC. They say Saratoga Springs is the quietest of all the DVC resorts. I haven't stayed at a bunch of them, but I can concur that it was beautiful. It was calm. It was close. It's a boat ride. Hey, Jan. What's going on, Jan S. Disney? It's a boat ride to Disney Springs, which I really love. It is just a great place to stay. And if you're looking for something to do for Christmas, the holidays, this is an opportunity. 40% off on rooms at Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. Again, I'm reading simply from allears.net, but it's everywhere. This deal only applies, however, to cash rentals. Okay, so you can't use your points, which was the first question my wife asked. We would do this deal. Hey, Too Real, what's going on, my man? Hope you're having a great day, great evening. We're already going. We'll be there for the last week of December. We'll be there for New Year's Eve. This would be right before that. Maybe I'll talk her into adding on to it. So the deal only applies, however, to cash rentals. Like I just said, it is available for stays most nights from October 4th, which is now, through November 10th, and from December 13th through December 25th. We'll be there like the 27th, 28th, I think. I don't know. We're there through like the 2nd or something. So this is like the week before we're going to be there. But you got to book it before December 25th, of course, which makes sense because that's the last day it's available. DVC members can also share this special offer with family and friends, which is a great bonus. So if you're my family or my friend, and you are, I could hook you up. Members must book on behalf of their family and friends, though, so you'll want to keep that in mind. Blah, blah, blah. It's just at DVC. I'm sorry, it's just at Saratoga Springs. I love Saratoga Springs. Go to the website for more details at Saratoga Springs. I think this is a great deal. Seriously, I've been saying for a long time, I really believe people are going to get out and about this holiday season. This is a perfect way to go about it. I think this is a great great opportunity to go with the holidays. Now, we do have a guest. Guest, I see you. Guest, give me one of these if you're ready. Yes. All right. So we've got a guest tonight. We're going to bring him in here shortly. Let's see what chat says. Two Real Geek says, that's like the deal they are giving to the residents in southern states. We get 40% off. Do you really? That's awesome. I didn't know that. So yeah, DVC gets deals all the time. Floridians get deals all the time. APs get deals all the time. I think this is amazing because look, this is a good deal, but it's a good deal at Christmas. It's a good deal at the holidays. Those don't come around all the time now. 2020 is a different year, that's for sure. I'm going to bring in our guests now. We're going to talk a little bit. Normally, this is an hour show. Just full disclosure, I'm a baseball nut. I'm a Dodgers nut, and the game's on, so we're probably not going to go the full hour tonight. But I wanted to give the Disney news, and I want to bring on my guest. You're going to know him. You already know him. Well, probably. If not, you're going to know him now. He is Tommy from Corner Sports. What's going on, my man? How are you?
Good evening. How are you this evening?
I am spectacular. Welcome in. I've been wanting to bring on some guests, and I'm excited to have you on as the very first guest here on Welcome Home. You have been a Disney DVC guy for quite some time, true?
Correct. We joined in 97.
97. What made you sign up to be a DVC member back then?
Well, it was kind of funny. You start walking around, you see all the ads and stuff, and it was not, I didn't really know that much about it, but we got talking, and my wife said, why don't we look into something like this? And so we were at the pool at the Poly, and there was a lawyer sitting there, and we were just talking back and forth because my wife was talking about one of the gentlemen she worked with said he had a timeshare outside of Disney, and he was all excited because it had a kitchen. So my wife said to me, "Oh, just what the heck I want to do. I want to cook when we're on vacation." So this guy started talking, and then we were going back and forth, and he said, "Did you ever check into the one here?" And I said, "Nah, I just can't, see where a timeshare is really got that good. All I can think about, you're stuck with the second week of October or something."
Yeah, yeah.
He says to me, "Look into the one here. It works on a point system." I said, "What's that all about?" And so he explained it, and we all know what the point system is. So we started listening, and I said, "All right, let's go to, why don't we go and, take the tour?" And it's one of those things, Jeff, that when we took the tour, and you see like a lot of these things, you see us, the model, and it's so unbelievable. Then when you stay there,
yeah,
it's not quite as good. Well,
yeah.
In our case, it wasn't. It was the room the first time we stayed was better than the model, And then when we went at that particular time, Boardwalk was the one we were buying into because that was the next one open. And when we ever toured Boardwalk, and I walked up and down a Boardwalk and saw the ESPN club, and I said, "Oh, this is something," and it's like the perfect location because you can walk to Epcot, you can walk to studios, and I'm looking around and I'm saying, this place is unbelievable, and it kind of forced you to go back to Disney more than once a year.
Right. Well, I for me, it was something we wanted to do anyway. We were doing it at least once. We wanted to go more, but I think you make a good point. Like I've got friends who are like, "Why do you go to Disney every year?" We wanted to go more. So yeah, I agree with you. The DVC thing just made it easier for us. It took the decision making out of it. We made the decision once. I don't know. Is that how it worked for you? Hey, Jackie in the chat. Hey, Kadani, Sean in the chat. Hey, Sean, Detroit Disney Duro. Everybody in the chat. Hello. Is that how you guys were doing it already? Were you going more than once? Or
yeah. It started. You got the bug. We got the bug in about 92. We had gone to Disneyland, and then we kind of got the bug and everything. And then all of a sudden, it was, hey, let's go to Florida. And then we start looking at this, and hey, there's this thing called DVC. And then, it starts working in your mind. Hey, we might be able to come back twice a year or more. And then,
that's exactly us.
And it's all relative. I mean, it was, when we bought in, it was $57 a point, which is a lot cheaper than now. But,
wow.
In those days, hey, that, it's always a lot of money, So you say,
sure.
Well, can you do it? But then you say, hey, we can finance it. I think we financed it for 5 years or 6 years, put some money down. But one thing that we got, it's not like, we had stayed at the Poly, and think of this, $180 a night at the Poly. So if you put down a deposit while you were there, you got to take all of that off your DVC. So we got $1,800 because we stayed for 10 nights. So that was like free money because it was gone already, And then, they had offered incentives, and like the second year I bought Beach Club, and then I bought Vero Beach because there was all these incentives. They would buy back. I don't remember exactly how it worked, but they bought back. And then the other nice thing at the beginning was the fact that I could, if I talked you into buying and you went and bought, they would give us a commission. And the first year it was $200 or first person. And if I sold the second person in the same year, it went up to $300. But then they realized, I guess, those are illegal in some states. So those are.
Oh, really? See, I love that. I love affiliate marketing. I don't think it was called that then, but I love that kind of thing. I do that with TubeBuddy and Epidemic Sound and stuff like that. But I've joked many a time. I mean, selling DVC doesn't sound like the hardest job in all time. Let me put it that way.
And I've been down, like I've been at the parks, and I would just float in. I remember that I was in the DVC booth at the Magic Kingdom, right near Uncle Tony's there. And I'm just in there shooting the breeze, and somebody's talking, and I kind of work my way in, and I'm telling the lady how it's a great deal, and you should really look into it. It's better than any other DVC anywhere else. And the guy even there said to me, "Geez, you ought to work for us." Right? And I mean, it's like anything else. How can you not sell it? I mean, it's.
Tommy, that's happened to me twice. It happened to me at Saratoga Springs, we should talk about it tonight, and it talked to me at Hollywood Studios. We're pin trading, and the sale. I was talking to the salesman, pin trading with the salesman, and somebody walks up, and the conversation turned into me selling them, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't even get a commission. What the heck?" So yeah, I love it.
You feel like you got your money's worth. It's not something that you say, "Oh boy, I wish I." You pay monthly, and now that it's paid for, yeah, you still get the monthly dues. But I always say it's like, we're all Disney nuts. That's why we all found each other. That's why we're all on the streams. I started with Resort. We moved, now I know all about 15 other guys, and it's like what we do. I mean, hey, there's guys that go skiing, there's guys that have boats, guys that go golfing. There's all ways to spend your money, but
that's for sure.
It's what we like, and I mean, it's you can work deals. I mean, you get a credit card that's a Southwest card, say, and now you're building up points. You get free air miles. I mean, you get a Disney card, you use it for personal stuff, and then all of a sudden you got money to buy. So I mean, there's ways, as you always say in your show, you got to create an income stream. Like the rich people have a lot of income streams. So if you get one that you say, okay, this is going to be my Disney income stream. Even if you got a part-time job and everything you did in that part-time job went towards your Disney thing,
So, I mean, it's funny you should say that, my friend. So I was going to announce tonight, it has nothing to do with DVC, but if you know me, I'm a baseball nut. The tickets, I live in Fort Worth. Fort Worth is right down the road from Arlington, where the World Series is going to be. Tickets went on sale this morning at 10 a.m., and I got 4 tickets for Game 7 of the World Series. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited about it. So,
what if they don't make Game 7 though?
I don't want to hear that. I'll get a refund. Then it's a big
I know that, but it's it's not the fact that hey.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. If the Dodgers make the World Series, I'm in heaven and I go to Game 7 of the World Series. But if the Yankees go to the World Series, so I bought the 4 tickets.
Yep.
And they were more than I thought they were going to be, but whatever. And then after I bought it, after secured them, I talked to my wife. I called a couple people, hey, whatever. And then I went on StubHub, and they're already on sale for $2,500 a pop. And the Yankees haven't made it yet. If the Yankees make it, there's only 20,000 seats in the whole stadium.
Okay.
They're going to be $10,000 a pop.
Well, did you buy them on a regular market? You didn't buy them on secondary?
No, I bought them straight from MLB.com.
Okay.
So
you're lucky.
With 4, I did. So with those 4 tickets, if my Dodgers aren't in it, if the Yankees are in it, I might have a DVC contract coming at me. That was the conversation me and my wife were having about an hour ago. I'm like, I don't know, how high are they going to go?
Oh yeah. And as I was telling you, in the conversations we have in our business, we used to be a Ticketmaster outlet. It was Ticketmaster.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's right.
In their ultimate wisdom, they decided to close up. It had nothing to do with us because we were one of their top sales in all of New England. We were one of their top. We were in top 5 all the time.
Wow.
But they closed all the outlets nationwide, and we loved.
They're more all online now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they still had online, and we try to convince them. You need people still want to come in and pay cash. And it was great for us. It was just we did it for almost 20 years, so I made a lot of connections in the ticket business. And
wow, I would love that.
I know a lot of stuff about tickets. Believe me. So
I
you're
remember
right.
you said that now. Yeah, well, I might have to pick your brain. We need to get you on a sports show one night. Or just me and you talk. I want to pick your brain on that. When I was, this is way off of DVC, but when I was a younger guy, I lived in San Diego, and I mean, I'm talking about like in college. I did plenty of that. Buying it. I like to hustle. Buying and selling. Hey, one stop mouse. Buying and selling tickets was like my jam, which was hard in San Diego because we didn't have any good sports. But I did concerts and stuff, and not even knowing what I was doing, just being a 20-something idiot who had tickets in his hands. I did pretty well. It's fun.
Oh yeah, I again, it's not DVC related, but I got stories about the All-Star game in Boston, and luckily over the years I've been to incredible. Like I was saying years ago, I've been to 7 Super Bowls. I've been.
Wow.
I was at the Celtics triple overtime against the Phoenix Suns. I've been to Bruins games, Stanley Cup, almost all the way to the end. I mean, I've been at the Red Sox game in '86, the famous fist game when he was like waving the home run in. I was at that.
That was in '75.
Yeah, 75. That's right. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, the Buckner game. I thought you were going to say in '86.
You know what's funny? I had tickets to that.
Oh.
And I sold because no, that was in Shea Stadium. I didn't have tickets to that one. I was thinking of another game that.
That was in Shea Stadium. You're right.
That was in Shea Stadium. But there's a story about that. But that's night for another. That's
all right. We'll have you back on a sport night for sure. That'll be fun.
That was a date with my wife that particular night. But
nice. That was destination time share in the house. What's going on? So when you were in DVC, when did you sign up? You said you signed up when?
97 was when we signed up.
So all of the places that you stayed, where's your favorite and where's your least favorite?
We've stayed at obviously Boardwalk all the time. We've stayed at Beach Club. We stayed at Old Key West. We've stayed at Bay Lake Tower. And I can't really say there's a bad spot. You know what? I actually like Old Key West because the rooms are incredibly big.
We're going there spring, I guess. One of our upcoming trips, we're going there. My wife is really excited about that one.
My wife stayed at Saratoga. She's been to Saratoga. That was on a girls' trip. I didn't go to that one. But favorite, it's got to be the Boardwalk because of and I'm spoiled because I don't think I've ever stayed in the studio. It's just my wife and I, which we take the grandkids a lot, but when we go even by ourselves, 1 bedroom. Got to have a 1 bedroom.
Sure.
It's just like I said, back to the thing. Some guys have a boat. I got DVC.
Hey, John Morgan in the house. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. If you're just getting in here, this is Tommy from Corner Sports. If you're part of the Resort TV 1 crew, and you should be, you know the name at least, if not the face. There's the voice. Great guy. Big sports fan, big DVC guy, just a good guy all around. Hey, Lori French in the house. Welcome in. So I'm glad to have you on, Tommy. We had you on, I don't think it was on my channel, but on another show. And I don't know. I knew that night that, man, this is the guy that I want. I think that I'm going to apologize in advance. And you've already said this to me, so I don't have to feel bad. But I think me and you have a lot in common, my friend. And
we do.
You do too. You've just got a better accent than me. I lived in California, and people tell me now I live in Texas. They tell me I have a California accent. I don't know if there is one, but you, my friend, have a cool accent.
Well, yeah, and I'll be on the phone because of business. I'll be on the phone talking to companies in Canada, and a lot of times they'll say to me, "Oh, you must be from New York." And I go, "No."
No.
But I always tell when anybody makes fun of a Boston accent, you got to tell them, where did the country start? Plymouth, Massachusetts.
That's right, baby. With the car in the yard in Plymouth. That's right.
That's actually overblown. In fact, as you know, I'll say a minor actor. Okay, I'm not a big time actor, but I've been doing it since 2007, and I love the hell. I've done a lot of stuff. But anyway, one of the things when we go to acting classes is if I've had my problems, like every so often they'll say, you got to change that a little bit. But then I've done commercials. I've auditioned for commercials with the Boston accent, but I didn't get them because it wasn't as strong as some other people. But
gotcha.
But it's funny when you speak of income streams and stuff. Well, we were coming back from this last trip in August, and I got an email last night from one of the casting companies that I've worked for, and they picked up. I did a commercial for Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they picked up for another year. And the email is, all it says is, do you want to renew for another year? Well, what that means is you discuss the money you're going to make, and you don't have to do a damn thing. They just send you another check. But that one
wait, I don't get those emails, Tommy.
that one check paid for the entire trip.
Wow. Wow.
But and like I said, it's one of those things that, and I'm sure, Jeff, you do things yourself like this. There's certain things we do, they wouldn't have to pay me a penny to do it because I enjoy it, doing it all the time. But it's like I say, the money's nice too.
Don't tell anybody I said this, but that's kind of the secret to life, man. If you get to do what you love,
correct,
and somebody will pay you for it,
yep, exactly.
It's a pretty good deal.
Exactly.
Hoopa plays in the house. Rachel loves Disney House. The destination timeshare in the house. Oh, I just banged my tooth into my own tooth. Really glad to see everybody here. Destination says, I have heard that the Key West DVC have the largest villas. I believe that's true. Tommy, can you speak to that?
Yeah, they because that was the very first one. And
yeah.
When they built Key West, I don't think they were ever planning on building it anymore. But it's on the golf course. It's very relaxing. I'm not a golfer. I have golfed in my day, but I'm not going to go to Disney. Imagine, I want to be at the parks. I want to be on rides. I'm not going to waste 3-4 hours golfing. Nothing wrong with that, but that's just not my thing. But the only bad part about it, you got to have a car. If you don't, we always rent a car when we're there, so it doesn't really matter. But if you rely on the buses, you're going to be. But I know people. I got friends of mine that are DVC people, and they go there and they don't even go to the parks. They might go to the parks one day, but they just love it. And as far as Beach Club's very nice because it's in a great location.
Yeah.
The one thing I always tell people about Vero Beach, I've owned there. I've never been there. I've never stayed there once. It was just a promotion to buy But
you bought the contract, but then just went somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's but it's like one of those things. I've used this slogan a long time ago that when Walt first built his theme parks, he took carnivals that were very shaky and turned it into what we got today. And they did the same thing with timeshare. Because think about it, there's a lot of shaky timeshares. I hear commercials all the time on the radio for guys trying to get you out of and stuff.
I guarantee you, I'm like, who buys something and wants out of it within 5 years? But I guess it happens all the time. But I'll tell you, Tommy, and you can tell me if I'm wrong from your end. I've never heard one person who's bought DVC and was upset about it. I've heard people sell.
Right, because things come up. Guy loses his job, kids going to college, hey, things happen in life,
Well, very honestly, next week, I have a guest who used his contract and sold his contract, and he's going to be on the show to talk about that. So that's next week on the show. But we'll save that for next week. But he's not an unhappy customer. He was a very happy customer, still is. But do you know anyone at all who's DVC and wished they didn't buy? Because I don't.
No. I had a friend of mine that unfortunately got divorced. He and his wife had 300 points, so they split it. And then he tried to sell his, and then it was a bad time. He just ended up giving it back. They got rid of them all, and then his wife just bought back in. But they bought them around my time, so they were paying $58, $59 a point. His wife bought back in on her own and paid close to 200 now. She's at the
there's not many things in my life that I regret. There's things I wish I would have done earlier. Plenty of things. DVC is right on the top of the list.
Yeah, and I even know when I bought, there was people that said, it's kind of expensive. It is. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't, but it was one of those things that you did. And even, I had to convince my wife because at the beginning, it's always, do you really think we should buy this? Are we really going to come down this often and everything? And nowadays she'll say it's one of the best things we ever did.
Yeah.
Because it's us, and a lot of DVCs push the thing. Like where we are, we're half an hour from Cape Cod. So people say, well, you buy at the Cape and then you can switch you off and go to Hawaii. But that's not why we bought it. I mean, I've never used it for anything else but going to Disney. And I know you can go to, we've used it to go to California, and I've stayed in the Grand Floridian.
Oh, that's on my list.
I've used it also too because you can use it for points. It costs you more. Like if you use it at a DVC resort, your points are less. But you can use it like I've used it out in Disneyland. We stayed at Paradise Pier, which is right across from Grand Californian, and you pay. You use a little few more points because you're at a a regular hotel and not a DVC thing. But it's it's one of those things. I'm one of those people you could never convince that's. We enjoy, and like the trip we just went on, we used frequent flyer miles for the plane. I always say DVC's already paid for, and then for holidays, my wife always says, you know what you can get me? gift cards, and we go down with gift cards and stuff. So it's it's like anyway, you just if there's something you really like, you work at it, and there's certain ways to cut
you make it happen.
Exactly. Make it happen.
It's funny you say that. So tomorrow's our wedding anniversary, and tomorrow on our show, Good Morning Disney, a little promo, 9:15 my time, 10:15 Eastern time. Love it, appreciate it. Right here on this channel, Good Morning Disney, we talk Disney news and stuff, and we're going to kind of show off what she got me for our anniversary. And I'll just be real, all I got her is gift cards. You know why all I got her is gift cards? That's what she wants me to get her, so that's what she gets. We go down to Disney, and it's plastic, and it ain't credit. It's Disney gift cards. She gets them for me. She gets them for my parents. She gets them from everybody knows what we want, and for every holiday we get them, and it's a blessing. It's nice. It's like most of our trip is paid for through that. It's nice.
And what we say about people that have a Disney timeshare, just think about it. I don't know, and there might be them, there might be ones out there that like this, but I've never heard of them. I bought it in at 57. What could I sell it for today? Probably 3 times as much, maybe.
I mean, that's perfect. So perfect timing, Tommy. So what Tommy just said, and what Destination Timeshare says, and his name's timeshare's in the name. We are going to. Oh, where'd it go? I hit the wrong button. A lot of timeshares out there have 0 resale value, so people can't get out of it from under it if they have a loan against it. My guest next week is going to talk about one of his first contracts. I think it was his first contract, and what he did, and it'll be a good conversation to have next week. So this time, same hour of the day, same hour of the week, Tuesday next week, the guest will talk about exactly that and what he did and how you can too. It's pure profit. Let me put it that way. So on DVC, what DVC resort have you not stayed at that you want to stay at, if there even is one, Tommy?
You know what I want to stay at? I want to stay in the Poly bungalows. Right on.
Those look fun.
They're about. I looked at the cheapest time of the year. It's about 130 points a night.
Wow.
Maybe. You stay 2 nights to see how it is or something, but that's one of those.
I don't know. Like I want to do it, but when you're talking about 2 nights versus 5 nights, and that's what you're talking about, right? Or 4 nights at least. That's hard. I mean, I guess after I have I only have one contract. It's a little contract. I want every other year to buy a new contract for the next 5 years, and then we'll see how that goes. Math is math, and the economy is the economy, and my effort is my effort, and all those things. Screw the economy. My effort is the effort. But we're not there yet. But maybe when I'm done, I want to have a contract for each one of my, I wanted to have a contract for each one of my daughters. But now they keep popping out grandkids. So now the idea is getting more and more expensive. Let's put it that way. But at some point when I accomplish whatever the goal ends up being, but I haven't given them the contracts yet because I'm still going myself, I'll probably have enough points that maybe we can do a bungalow. But it does look like a good gig. And those what are they? The tree houses look fun at Saratoga Springs.
Yep.
And Wilderness Lodge, they're about to build. I think they're about to build the lodges right on the lake. So there's going to be some high level stuff that are going to get on my list. But for you, it's the bungalows at Poly.
Yeah, that one there, and then like I said, you could stay anywhere, and I don't think you'd be disappointed. I mean, every place has got its point. Like I said, I like to be close to. Like I said, I can walk to 2 parks, and then we hop in the car and go to Animal Kingdom. We hop in a car and go to Magic Kingdom, and so you can't. That's just my favorite. I just love the boardwalk. I love ESPN Club. You go down, you check the scores, see what's going on.
Obviously, that's my jam too. I love that kind of stuff.
And like when we were there in August, I mean, we weren't. There wasn't a whole lot open, but you still have a lot of fun. I mean, in fact, the Wyland Galleries that's right on the boardwalk. There's only one. There used to be one at the Poly, and that one's gone. And there's still one of the Wyland Galleries selling paintings. The wall that's right over there. There's a painting from that gallery that's right on our wall here. So I mean,
love it.
Like I said, it's just people come in our store. My wife and I work together. So if somebody comes in and starts talking about Disney or something, how it usually starts is they hand us a credit card, and it's a Disney credit card.
There you go.
few more points and you'll have a free trip or something, right? And they say, oh, and they start talking and they say, oh, by the way, we're DVC. Oh, next thing you know, it's an hour conversation with
right. That's us. That's totally us. That's how we become. I mean, come on. All of my best friends in the world are people that I've met on the internet, which used to scare me to death. I worked with kids, and I used to say, stop meeting people on the internet. Now all my best friends are people I met on the internet. Hey, Emma's now. Speaking of some of my best friends on the internet, Emma Cooley, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Tina McNeil, I don't think I said hello to you, Tina. Welcome in. Love you guys being here. Love the members being here. Love everybody being here. If you don't know yet, this is Tommy from Corner Sports. Tommy, if they don't know you, tell us about you. Anybody who doesn't know you, how they should know you is they hear your name a lot on the Resort TV 1 streams, and I'll shut up. You tell us about Tommy, what you do.
How we got tied up with Resort TV 1, I don't even kind of remember. My wife said one day she was looking on, she was on the internet, and we used to just look up stuff and we'd show the grandkids things like videos of Splash Mountain, Disney, all that stuff, and then one thing led to another. I didn't really even know what timeshare was all about. And I mean, not timeshare, but YouTube. No, I'm not timeshare.
Oh, okay.
YouTube was all about. So next thing you know, she says, hey, we got to start watching this. It was unbelievable. So, and then I actually called Josh one night and I said, hey, I heard you have sponsorship and stuff. And that's how I got started sponsoring that. And then being in my store, I've been in business for 40 years. And we do a ton of uniforms. We do a ton of T-shirts. We do T-shirts from anything from every kind of event. We do hats. We do all kinds of stuff. So it was just kind of said, I said, you know what? We walk around Disney and every other group has their T-shirts from their event. I said, we can do that. And then I said, so we
Dole Whip Family Vacation 2020 or whatever.
Correct. And we started doing some of that. And then, we're like I said, we started sponsoring with Resort TV 1. And then one thing leads to another. I find Dole Whip Dad. I find all these other, like I said, it's just
thank goodness.
It's a fun thing too, but it's been good. I mean, I'll be sitting on a couch watching a YouTube, and all of a sudden the phone goes off, and it's an order for hats, it's an order for T-shirts. I mean, because we're hooked up to our website and stuff, and like I said, it's a great thing. I mean, we do uniforms for we're in New England. We're about 50 miles south of Boston, but we actually have customers in New Jersey. We have customers in New York, Connecticut, down at Cape. We actually do work for other stores. There'd be another store, say in New Jersey. They send us their uniforms. We completely what they call decorate them. We number them. We put names on them, team names, and then send it back to the customer. So it's been, like I said, hey, thank God we haven't, it's been a little tough the last few months, like everybody, because a lot of the, people we deal with, schools and groups and organizations, they haven't been playing, but we're slow but sure getting, we're getting back to,
amen.
Back to good,
From your mouth to God's ears, I deeply believe that. Emma, who already got big points from me tonight, getting even more. But here's the problem with what Emma said. Delete the if. When we do a Pineapple Crew group cruise, we need matching shirts from Corner Sports. So I might have the official travel agent of the Dole Whip Dad channel brand, whatever, Sherry Awesome Sunset Travels, and she's already trying to get me to do one. We will do one. We will. We were thinking about doing one at the end of this year for next year. The world has changed, but Emma, you're first on the list now, girl. Well, I guess Sherry would be first on. You're second on the list now. And Tommy, can we hook you? Can you hook us up with a deal on shirts when we all go on a cruise?
Of course, we can.
We're gonna have to go on a Disney cruise though, so we're gonna have to save up a little more because I don't want to go on I don't know.
Carnival.
Yeah. Although I do own stock in Carnival, but and Norwegian, but I want to go on Disney cruise. But Emma, we are going to do that. We're not going to do it right now, but we are going to do it. What else about DVC? What's a secret about DVC that you want people to know? Maybe they're not in DVC yet. This is a hidden perk or whatever you want people to know. From Tommy's mouth to their ears, what's a sneaky thing about DVC?
Well, the biggest thing is, like the room we stay in all the time. We always stay, like I was saying, there's a 1-bedroom at the boardwalk. I always get what they call a standard view because it's a few less points. I've had boardwalk view. That's unbelievable. But there's no bad view. I don't mind looking at the.
I was going to say, what's on the other? What are you looking at on the other ones?
When you drive into the boardwalk, or you have a view of the Skyliner, which isn't too bad. And then I've got a secret room. There's three secret rooms at the boardwalk.
Ooh.
We love them because they're a little. There's only 3 of them that are a little different They're a standard view, and they're a little different than any other room at the boardwalk. I'm not going to say the numbers because I don't want anybody to steal my.
It's that secret. So next time you're down there, I'm gonna stalk you. I'm gonna find somebody to follow you and get the number.
Oh, I'll tell you. I can tell you if you ever want to stay there. But
Let's go.
they're a different design, and we got it this August. It's one of those things like I could try for 6 trips in a row and not get it. I got it this August, but that's because obviously there wasn't as many people there. But
I hear it's one of those. I know what you're going. I know. I think I know what you're talking about. That's fun.
But the biggest thing is the room. If you went to pay cash, you walked into the boardwalk tomorrow and said, "Hey, I want to pay cash for a 1-bedroom." It's going to cost you $600-$700 a night, $800 a night. I mean, so I'm staying there for 7 nights or 6 or 7 nights.
Yeah.
For what?
That's why when people say it's expensive, it's relative. Like if you're already going down there more than once a year or at least once a year, like I'll tell it again. The story is the story. We were Wipey, we're Dave Ramsey people, right? So hey, Blue Nose, what's going on, my man? Welcome in. Before we became DVC, Wipey would have an envelope, and every month we'd put in X, however much it was. And when they were selling us, we're watching the zebra go by at Animal Kingdom, and they're selling us, and I'm not listening into a word, right? Giving the quick version of the story, and the guy leaves so we can talk about it. Wipey says, that's less per month that I'm putting in the envelope now. Now we were buying the food, the food deal too, but taking the food deal off, it was actually about the same as what we were paying anyway to stay at All-Star Resort versus the Poly. That's not more expensive. That's a better deal. I mean, I guess it's just perspective, but I'm not rich. I'm not poor. I'm just a normal dude, but I don't find it more expensive. I find it a better deal. Hey, Christine Blair in the house. Am I crazy, Tommy? It's
the accommodation. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things that, like I said, we're all in the community. We're all Disney nuts, right? And I never had a place. I mean, I've been to a lot of places. I mean, I've been to Europe. I think I've been in almost every state in the country. Because going to car shows, we travel around all over the place.
Oh, that's fun.
So
cool.
I've been playing hockey. We've been everywhere. So I've been a lot of places. But there was nothing like when you got a Disney trip planned for May, say, and you know it's coming, and you can start.
Yep.
The old famous thing, you can taste it. And there's one thing I do, and this could happen at any resort. It doesn't have to be a DVC resort. And I want everybody to do this, or think about this the next time you go. I always say the best day of the trip is the first day you're there because you got all those days ahead of you, right?
Yeah,
When you land in the Orlando airport and you're walking to get your luggage, and then you go to get your car, and then you're driving down, and when you get to your resort, and I always say this at the boardwalk, you can just look at people and I can tell who's coming and who's leaving. The coming people, they're happy, they're getting out of their cars, the bus let them off, they're getting their luggage. The people that are waiting for the Tragical Express are like, they got to go home, right? I mean, hey, we all got to go home. And I look at it this way. When you go home, you're that much closer to the next time you're coming
Amen. See, I love that about you. I love that.
Like I say, it's one of those things. You can just look at people, and I say to my wife, they're going home. They're just getting here. I mean, it's just one of those things. I'm so nutty when I walk out of the Orlando airport. We've all been there. When you walk across the street to go to the place where the car, the garages where the cars are, there's a fountain there, right? I always put my hand in the fountain, and you just smell that air, and especially if it comes from up north and it's in the winter months or the colder months, and you get there and the heat hits, because I don't mind heat at all. My wife.
I love heat. I don't like the humidity so much, but
I like being warm because you know what? It reminds me of being in Florida all the time. So anyway,
true.
You get there and it's like, I'm here. I mean, it like I said, I haven't found another feeling like that yet. I mean, I'm sure there is. I mean, hey, I've done a lot of great things in my days. I mean, like I said, I've been to Super Bowls. What's better than go to Super Bowls? But still, you get even last year, right? Last year, the Super Bowl was in Tampa, right? And if my Pats were there, I was already figuring out. I already started to look at it. I said, you know what? If we stay at Vero for 2.5 hours, down in Fort Lauderdale, down to, it was in Miami. And I said, we can finagle this. I said, we'll do a Disney trip, go to the Super Bowl, figure it all out. But, obviously, Some other team made it there, so we.
That's
anyway,
a lot of awesome right there.
But like I say, in over the years when we've had like at the store, we go to a lot. We used to go to trade shows. Of course, there's not many trade shows anymore. But when we'd go to trade shows, and it'd be in California, we used to do one out in Las Vegas. It was a big hockey show, and every year for about 10, 12 years in a row, we'd go to Disney and then drive up to the trade show. So any excuse to go to Disney,
right?
So we'd hit there for 2 days. So
win-win.
Every trip exceeds.
Get some business, spend some money, get some business at home.
Exactly, but it's like I say, it's just one of those things that everybody has their thing. I mean, and
if you can work a little fun into your job, like we said. I haven't asked you this, and before we end our night here, you love the boardwalk. You mentioned the boardwalk a few times. Physically on the boardwalk, what's your favorite place to go? The Abracadabra? What's your favorite go-to on the boardwalk?
Probably ESPN Club.
That's right. You already said. I should have assumed.
And I'm not a drinker. I'm not a big boozer.
I'm not either.
So I don't spend a lot of money, but I don't mind. I mean, hey, when I was younger, people used to think I was half in the bag all the time because I had that kind of personality. But love to go to ESPN. We've been to the. I've been in every. The only thing I miss is I like the ice cream shop before. When it became what's the name there? Hills that just went out of business.
Well, I think they just took away. That's one of my daughter's favorite places, but it's not.
Not there anymore. But right? Before that, it was the ice cream shop was down where the Abracadabra bar is. That's where the ice cream shop was, and then they moved it. But it was both good. But they got to put an ice cream shop back there.
What about? Emma's asking you about jelly rolls.
Oh, you know something? I've walked by a ton of times, and I know the boys at the this and that guys love
the Diva Boys. They're called the Diva Boys when we're talking jelly rolls.
But I've been in, and
I haven't hung out there either. So I don't
stuck my head in the door a few times, but we've never,
Last time we were there, well, I've only hung out at the boardwalk one night ever, and Jelly Rolls wasn't open that night. I had my kid. I wouldn't have worked anyway, but yeah, I need to do that. It looked. I think. Tell you what, me and you could probably do some damage in that place. I'm guessing. I'm guessing
Probably.
they would like they would probably try to. One of the two of us would probably have the mic and take it home with us if I know us correct.
Probably. Hey, one of the things that they used to have with DVC, in fact, it was at every Wednesday morning, they would have a breakfast at the what they call a quiet pool, and they'd give you breakfast. They'd have giveaways. It was great. They tell you all the new stuff. Then they moved it to like 2:00 in the afternoon, and it's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I want to be at the parks at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But now, what they do now, they've told me that's how they put that money into the lounges, like the DVC lounges at Epcot and stuff. But in fact, hey, there was a party when they opened up Saratoga, right? They had a party that you could go to, and it said, okay, we want you to help celebrate Saratoga. So I said to my wife, hey, you know what, well, let's do that. So I think I did it as a surprise. But the morning it went on sale, I went in. It wasn't hard to get. And they had, I think, only about 3,000, 4,000 people that did it. And what they did, it was a weekend. And one night they closed Epcot, and we were there. The next night they closed Magic Kingdom, and we were there. They gave us more stuff. And they never did it again because, like I said, I don't think now it would probably be more, received. But that's what those, the DVC parties that they have now, the Midnight Madness and stuff. I think that's where they got the idea.
Yeah.
But that was.
I've heard those events are can't miss. I've not done any of them yet.
I bet the two. We bet the one at the Animal Kingdom and one at Epcot, and they're good. They're real good. They're hard to get. You got to be right there the minute they go on, on sale.
I hear they're awesome. They had a Disney pin trading one. They had some other event at Animal Kingdom recently that I've talked to people about, and they just said it was one of the best events they've ever done. That's awesome. Well, this has been a blast. So what else can they know about you that they don't know? I mean, do you want to talk about your business? You want to talk about Disney? You can talk about your favorite park. What else do they know about Tommy? Because a lot of people were saying, hey, it's good to put a face and a voice with the name. So let them know about you real quick.
All right. Well, like I said, I've been in business for 40 years, been a Disney lover forever. Probably the first time I went to Disney actually was 1982. That was my first trip ever, Disneyland. And then a few times we went in '88. A good friend of ours was a tight end for Penn State. We went to the Citrus Bowl down there. So that was another excuse to go to Disney. And then in '92 is when I always say it, when the bug bites you. You know, people go to Disneyland and then they don't go back for 5 years. And then, like I said, I pretty lucky because I graduated from college in 1980, June of 1980, and opened my business in July of 1980. So I was only sort of say unemployed for 1 month, and then I was in business, and I've been there ever since. So, you know, owning a small business in this world is not the easiest thing in the world. But and then I've always kind of had that little bit of outgoing personality, and you can say that you know, when you own your own business, and I'm sure you do this, Jeff, too, at your place, that, you know, you're talking with people all day long. You know, you're sort of on stage when you're working. And,
yeah.
And, you know, years ago, I always had this thing. And one thing I wish, you know, you say you wish you did something earlier. When I was in high school, I wish I tried to get into drama and all that stuff, because back in 2007 is when I first started doing the movie thing, and I was an extra in a movie called The Game Plan, which was a Disney movie. And so it was pretty good. You know, I mean, the first movie I ever was in, and when you got a check and it had a Disney logo on it.
That's freaking awesome. That
year, I finagled some stuff, and I got to go to the premiere out in Hollywood. And of course, we went to Disney too, but at Disney, they actually had posters up to, you know, promote that movie. And,
wow.
You know, getting to meet, you know, I know we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the, you know, famous people you've met.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to meet so many people I couldn't.
That was on a members only Zoom call, if you're wondering.
Correct.
Emma was there. See, look at my two favorite actors, Tommy and Emma, are in the right now. But anyway, yeah, that was on a Zoom members only call.
Yeah, and you know that, and then like I said, I've been doing it ever since. I've done commercials. I've done more movies. I did a movie with Johnny Depp. It was up this way. It was about Whitey Bulger. It was called Black Mass.
Sure.
And
sure.
The biggest thing they'll tell you in the movies is when you're on set, you do not talk to the actors unless they talk to you, because they, you know, if you.
See, well, every time I'm in a movie with Johnny Depp, I do talk to the actor, but it's because I paid my ticket and I'm yelling at the screen. It's a little different.
But what I did was I walked by him and I took I just kind of caught his eye and stuff, and I was going to say something. I was going to say, hey, you know, I love you in the Pirates of the Caribbean, but I figured I better not say anything. But you know, like I said, those guys are going over
next time you see him, don't tell him you loved him in Sleepy Hollow, because he hated that one. He didn't. He's not even watched it. He said he hated it. I was watching it the other night, and you know how they put the little blurbs. It said on there, he's never seen this one because he didn't like how he acted in it, and he did act a little weird in that one. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, over the years, like I said, people say to me, "Who's the best person you met?" A lot of guys are very, very nice. Henry Winkler was unbelievable.
I love him.
He talked to everybody.
Fonzie. Anybody in chat who doesn't know who he's talking about? Fonzie
from Happy Days, and he was, like I said, he was just over the top.
That makes me happy. I think I said this to you that night. I named a cat Fonzie. That's how much I love that character when I was a little boy. So to hear that and I've heard it before. Then
he's a nice guy, and it's funny because some people will see a guy, like I did another thing with in fact, it was when I met Henry Winkler, was Kevin James. It was a movie called Here Comes the Boom. And I heard people on set that night, and they were saying, you know, like, oh, you know, hey, he's not a nice guy. He's not funny. Well, like, what you see on TV and what you see in real life, hey, they're doing a job. I mean, they're there to make a movie. They're not there to entertain you, you know? I mean, so it's like I said, it's you know, like I said, you run into the people in a lot of the. But Jeff, I'll leave you with this one story. This you'll like this one. And we're not going to get political here, but I met our president, and we were at a golf tournament. My wife and I were at a golf tournament, and he came over to my wife, and he was talking to her, and he's saying how lovely she was, and talking to him, and then he said he looked at the guy standing next to her. I was over a little way, and he said, "Oh, is this your husband?" And she said, "No, my tricky husband's standing over there." So I just waved at him, and he looked right at me, and he said, "You're a lucky man." we always kid about that. We say, "Hey, the president once told me I was a lucky man."
I love that. Well, not the same president. That same night that we just were discussing, I shared with the group, but I'll share now. I've met a president too, and he was proud of me for what I did that day. That's all I'll say on this. Ooh, getting a little feedback there, but anyway, that's a fun president story. I like yours better than I even like mine. How can the people get a hold of a hat from Tommy if they want to buy well, I guess it would be a Resort TV One hat, or they just want to support you? Where can they find you online or whatever?
Our actual website is Corner Sports NB, because we're in New Bedford, Mass. So it's cornersportsnb.com. You can go on there. You can just send me a little note. You got any questions whatsoever? I'm old school. I like to call somebody, talk whatever you want over the phone. But you can put any information in there. But like I said, if you got an event coming up, like you got because we can't have, depending on where state you're in, you can't have big gatherings and everything. But if you got a family reunion, you're a gardener, you're a painter, you got a body shop, you need shirts for your store, you need anything like that, we can do it. Hats, shirts, jackets. Your son is on the basketball team at your local high school, and the guy in town doesn't seem to do a good job. Give me a call. We'll take care of it for you.
I'm gonna need some Dodger gear. If I go to the Dodger game 7, I'm gonna need some Dodger gear, and I got a lot. But my buddy today said I'm gonna need boxers. I told him I already have boxers. I might need some Dodger tighty whities, which I guess would be tighty blueies. But that's a whole other conversation.
I think you better wear more than tighty whities or tighty.
Depends on how good the game goes.
At the game, you might be in trouble.
I've been in trouble for less. Tommy, this was a blast. I so appreciate your time. If you guys don't know him, well, if you didn't know him then, you know him now. Check out his website. Are you on social media anywhere they can find you, buddy?
Yeah. Well, we Corner Sports. We're on Facebook, Corner Sports, and then you can Corner Sports. Just regular Corner Sports. You can find us. We're connected with our website too, so you can go to the website, get over to Corner Sports on the Facebook, or go to Facebook and over to Corner Sports on the website.
I didn't have that already, but I'll try to grab that and put it in the description. It's not there currently, and it usually takes us an hour show or so it probably takes about 30 minutes to render. Hopefully by then I'll remember to put it in the description. But honestly, I'm watching the Dodger game, so it might be a tomorrow thing. But go down there and check that out.
No problem.
Give him some love. Tommy, don't go anywhere. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody in chat, and then I'll say thank you to you offline. Everybody who's here, Mar, Emma, Tina, Blue Nose, everybody else who's up above that, everybody who's a member and not a member, thank you for spending a little time. It's to have one person in here and spend a couple minutes with us of your life on our show, it means a lot to me. And to have a couple 20 of you or whatever in here talking and having a good time with each other and with us. I hope I'm saying it right. Thank you. It means a lot to me. And again, I'm glad I got to help you get to know Tommy. Have the best day ever. Listen, I've got Friday night Disney Pins live, Good Morning Disney every day, including tomorrow at 9:15 my time, 10:15 Eastern time, and then Sunday night a couple shows. So if we didn't scare you away, smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell and all those things. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Good Morning Disney. You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Have fun storming the castle, and most importantly, go Dodgers. I'm watching it right there. We're down 1-0, but I'll be all right. All right, love y'all. Have the best night ever. See ya.
Thank you.